Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Davo from Esports, bringing you another Starcraft 2 1v1 cast today. Let's just quickly introduce our players. In the bottom left-hand corner, we have EGiNcontroL, who is our blue Protoss, and in the top left-hand corner, we have Frogis, who is our red Terran. Frogis, an up-and-coming player who has many a stream, many a YouTube channel, well, many a YouTube video, etc., etc. Yeah, look out for him. He is on his way on the up. EGiNcontroL is quote-unquote the face of esports. He is a very, very famous player indeed. He does lots and lots for the community. People love him. Well, everyone who isn't Combat X loves him. Yeah. EGiNcontroL is awesome. He's in the State of the Game podcast sometimes. I think he's in the State of the Game podcast. I think he runs it. No, maybe. I don't know. I need to get my facts right. Who knows? Cool, blimey. But there we are. I believe they're talking about where they live right now. Frogis and EGiNcontroL. Yes, oh yes. I'm living in AZ. I am the opposite. See, I don't... Being a British man, I don't know where AZ is. I'm guessing that's a state. Maybe like Alaska? I don't know. Oh man. Yeah. I have no idea. I'm sorry guys. I can't commentate on what they're talking about because I quite simply have no idea at all. Frogis leaving his supply depot half finished there, which is actually a pretty good idea because it's still blocking him off, even though it's not finished. And he can just go and finish it after his barracks is finished. Of course, his orbital command will be made into one as soon as it is done. The barracks is done, that is. These guys are having a serious chat about the weather. Meanwhile, our Protoss has actually expanded before Gateway and is getting a forge out as well. I've always thought this is a fairly risky maneuver versus Terran. Because of how good Terran is in the early game. But I mean, it is EGiNcontroL. EGiNcontroL is of course part of Team EG, which stands for Evil Geniuses. He is a very, very good player, completely 100% worth his salt, as it were. So there's no worries about his play. And there we go. Are you Grandmaster this season? EGiNcontroL goes yes. So there we go. I mean, I can sit and say this is a risky maneuver all I like, but EGiNcontroL is indeed Grandmasters. Frogis has no idea why he is playing EGiNcontroL. Frogis is Masters. Yeah, Frogis is Masters, or at least at the time of this game being played, he is Masters, which was about 20 minutes ago, apparently. Mid-Master. There we are. So really, really top tier Masters usually only play the Grandmasters players. But there we go, it does actually look like Frogis is going to be heading for an expand as well. Meanwhile, Photon Cannon... Goddamn Forge expand, yeah, fair enough. Meanwhile, there is a Photon Cannon on the top of the ramp here for EGiNcontroL, which will stop any early funkiness now that he has been scouted, maybe feeling a little bit vulnerable, so he slams down another Photon Cannon as well, which will easily take care of Frogis' Marines. He doesn't actually have that many Marines to speak of at the moment. Meanwhile, it does look like he will be going a very bio-orientated build. 3 barracks being placed down right now, and that is something that Terran do love to do versus Protoss. Marines, Marauders, Medevacs, that triple M strategy, it's still extremely viable and very, very good indeed. These guys just on ramp duty right about now. Meanwhile, this SCV is trucking it around the place, trying to avoid being murdered by the homicidal probe that is following him around. The Warp Gate research is actually super duper early for having fast expanded as well, but again, what can we expect? EGiNcontroL is a professional level gamer. He knows what he is doing exactly, so that is absolutely fine. You cannot question EGiNcontroL, really. I mean, he hasn't actually ever really won a major tournament to my knowledge, which is unfortunate for him. But he is getting there. I mean, the guy has so much on his plate, I don't actually think he has time to do it anyway, because he runs so much stuff. I believe he's a major contributor towards EG's content. So yeah, essentially. Speaking of which, something that I failed to mention in the last video, EGiNcontroL was at the ESL UK Nationals, of course he was, and the reason we failed to get an interview with him was when we turned up, it turned out that we had to email EG for an interview, so we did, and then they got back to us the following day. Because of the time, because of the 9 hours time difference, we think that they must have been asleep when we emailed them. So that is why we didn't have an interview with EGiNcontroL, unfortunately. But hey, we got a very nice email yesterday, which was the day after the tournament, saying, yeah, you can interview EGiNcontroL. Unfortunately. So, you know, maybe next time, maybe at the I-Series we'll interview someone like EGiNcontroL. That should be pretty good. But yeah, I am hopefully looking forward to going to the I-Series again. That is if we go back. I'm pretty sure we should be going back. So there we are. This probe does see the impending Marines. Is he going to move out of the way of danger? He is, not wanting to get murdered. He just moves straight off. Meanwhile, the Marines are going to be descending. Well, this Marine is going to be descending. Where are you going, Mr. Marine? Scouting for a third base, it looks like. Just to check that EGiNcontroL isn't being very, very greedy. Meanwhile, EGiNcontroL actually is holding his ramp, which is 3 photon cannons, 2 zealots, 3 sentries, and a stalker, which is fairly, what some might consider a paltry amount of units right now, but both players are playing pretty damn greedy. Frogis is expanding again. You know, I think they've got each other worked out pretty well. They're metagaming each other pretty nicely, as it were. You know, they know that it's safe to expand at the moment. There is an Immortal on the field, destroying these destructible rocks with lots and lots of zealots, sentries, etc., etc. So it does look like EGiNcontroL will be heading out to go and take this expansion pretty damn soon, which will be seen by Frogis. I don't think EGiNcontroL has scouted Frogis' new expansion there. Let's have a look. Boom, no he has not just yet. He does have a observer right here, but has not been scouted just yet. Meanwhile, we have 1+ weapons and 1+ armor on the way for our Terran player, Frogis. 1+ weapons on the way for EGiNcontroL as well, along with Colossus and another forge, so I'm sure that he's going to be trying to get his upgrades as fast as possible. After that forge finishes, there you go, the armor upgrade goes down straight away, chrono boosts go down on the armor too, and he is getting armor upgrade level 2, and weapons upgrade level 2 as well, which has just started. Nice timing on the armor and weapons upgrades actually. Okay, so if we go to the front of the base right here, we do have a Terran army which vastly outnumbers EGiNcontrol's Protoss army. Some force fields that won't actually hold very much go down on the ramp, and EGiNcontroL proceeds to, quite frankly, run away. There's nothing wrong with running away. It's a tactical retreat. That is what it will be known as. But it does look like EGiNcontroL may be thinking about expanding into this 4th position here, which is pretty easy to defend, seeing as the destructible rocks coming from your opponent's base, when your base is situated like this, are pretty easy to build. Meanwhile, we do have a really nice thing from EGiNcontroL right here, where he just places pylons across the map, and that's pretty groovy actually, especially seeing as he has a pylon right here, right next to Frogis' 3rd expansion, which will be seen now because there is a Ghost Academy going down, and I'm sure Frogis knows about said pylon that is there. 2 Marauders being stimmed and running in to take care of that pylon. Meanwhile, we are going to have a big engagement down here. Nice force fields there by EGiNcontroL, stopping a big chunk of the Marines and Marauders from getting away, and now it just does look like a Terran BQ. Meanwhile, there is a drop coming down here, which EGiNcontroL has to be worried about. Maybe he thinks that Frogis is actually just playing with him, but no, he is going to pull back instead. This drop does look like it might actually be hitting his 3rd base right pretty soon, but EGiNcontroL is actually ready for it. It'll be a disaster if these medvacs go anywhere near this area right now, or they will just get shot down before they can deliver their cargo. Intelligent scan there from Frogis. I mean, are these units just going to stay there? Are the medvacs just going to stay there and anticipate the Protoss units moving away and EGiNcontroL moving back again, trying to double bluff, as it were? Meanwhile, another drop coming down here from Frogis. Brilliant play from Frogis, actually.
because he will be coming down the left-hand side and dropping somewhere where obviously EGiNcontrol's army, quite frankly, is not. I don't think Frogis does know about this drop right now, and he is rushing his units in right there. Meanwhile, the other drop comes down right here, so he is being double dropped, in fact, and so the army is from EGiNcontrol is actually just having to run about the place like crazy to try and deal with these double drops that are just happening all over the place. Various Terran units meeting their end to the Colossus right there, and we have more pylons on the field right now from EGiNcontrol. just building, that's absolutely fine. But EGiNcontrol's scouting is really, really nice. Like, he's got an observer at each ramp. He knows when Frogis is moving out. Apart from when Frogis is, I love Frogis' name, by the way, Frogis. Is lovely. Apart from when Frogis is dropping him, of course. Meanwhile, we do have Psystorm on the way. 3 weapons, 3 armor just finishing up, which is pretty quick. Blink just finishing up also. So EGiNcontrol's army, not quite as large as Frogis is currently, but is looking pretty well upgraded, pretty well equipped. I don't know if... Well, Frogis must know about the pylon that is there. Yes, he does. So that pylon will probably get taken down. Meanwhile, there is a drop down here in EGiNcontrol's third base, revealing the fact that EGiNcontrol actually has High Templar right now. Meanwhile, there is another drop in the natural of EGiNcontrol as well, just taking out a pylon and a few more little bits and bobs. Ooh, that medvac almost dying to the feedback from the High Templar right there. There's a nice stash of probes right there, which... Oh, nice Psystorm going down there on top of those Marines and Marauders. Meanwhile, the army's just going to come and try and clear all of this up with ease, actually, because there are no medvacs left. The Marines and Marauders kind of coming at the Colossus with a large degree of futility. Meanwhile, these Zealots with speed are going to be warped in on the pylon that actually got left there. And they do have speed, so can they just turn around and attack? Yes, they can, and it does look like these Marines and Marauders are going to die very quickly if they don't leave it out, as it were. Meanwhile, there is a Viking just sitting around up here, maybe having a little poke, having a look, seeing if those gateways are still underpowered, and they are. Meanwhile, we have 3 robotics facilities here for EGiNcontrol, so it'll be interesting to see what our Protoss player is going to be planning to do with 4 robotics facilities on the field. I mean, is he just going to be massing Colossus? That was a good scan there from Frogis, actually. He's going to see most of those buildings going down. Meanwhile, if this planetary fortress finishes while these Zealots are chopping away at it, then the Zealots will not last for very long. But one thing that won't last for very long are, in fact, these SCVs, especially seeing as the entirety of EGiNcontrol's army is about to descend on that planetary fortress. There we go, it doesn't look like the end of the planetary fortress. Unfortunately, the upgrade itself did finish, so Frogis just lost the price of a command center and the price of a planetary fortress as well. Wow, my throat is just ridiculously killing me. I'm sorry. It's actually incredibly distracting. So Frogis' army is actually going to be coming out right now. Are these ghosts going to cloak? There is a nuke ready to go for the ghosts as well. That is one thing to think about, and here we go. Oh, we are going to know. Oh my goodness. No Psystorm at all for EGiNcontrol at the moment, but it doesn't look like Frogis will get cleared up. With these charge lots, only a small amount of Marines and Marauders remaining. But will it be enough to fend off these Zealots? Not actually that much stuff left in the main base either from Frogis. And these Archons do look like they will be zapping various things to just completely destroy them and humiliate them beyond all recognition. Again, some fairly poor force fields from EGiNcontrol, unfortunately, that units can just quite frankly get through. The only ones that can't are Marauders, the fat bastards. So we did have Frogis losing some SCVs just there. 21 SCVs killed from EGiNcontrol. I might have to make this my last cast today because my voice is just falling apart, and when it hurts to speak, that's when you know that you're doing something wrong, I think. And here we go, another big engagement right here from Frogis and EGiNcontroL indeed. Oh, and 3 Colossus coming up here from the south, and that is definitely not what Frogis will want to see right now from EGiNcontroL. EGiNcontroL with more force fields, but kind of blocking off his army by accident right there. And what is he making? He is making lots and lots of Colossus. Those 3 robotics facilities that he built earlier have been by and large not used. I think that's probably where our 3 Colossus came from that are on the map right now. The massing Colossus against Terran is actually a fairly good idea. You get this kind of nice rotation going when you play against Terran as Protoss, where you'll go High Templar Colossus, High Templar Colossus, and they'll wind up with a load of useless Vikings basically if you go Colossus first, and that's pretty useful to remember. Psystorm going down on this army, EGiNcontroL showing Frogis pretty much how it is done in the PvT environment, because I mean, EGiNcontroL is absolutely destroying Frogis at the moment. Another Psystorm going down on the army right there. Boom. This is absolutely painful to watch, actually. EGiNcontroL is doing very, very well. And there is the GG from Frogis, unfortunately not being able to pin down an expansion more than he would like to. EGiNcontroL had to work for it. That's fair enough to say. I'm sorry, this is going to have to be my last cast because my throat is literally just killing me. I can't, like, it hurts so much. I don't know why. It's terrible. I want to cast more, but the thing is, if I do, then I might mess my voice up, and tomorrow I'm casting with phonics. And as I'm casting with phonics, I want it to be better because, quite frankly, I like casting with phonics. It is fun. So there we go. Alright guys, well thanks a lot for watching. I'm sorry that this will probably be my last cast today unless the heavens open and someone gives me some cough mixture. But yeah, thanks a lot for watching. EGiNcontroL wins, Frogis unfortunately loses, but that, you know, I mean, EGiNcontroL is Grandmaster League, so it's kind of to be expected. And he is part of Team EG as well, but I mean, quite a lot of the time EGiNcontroL doesn't actually do too great. EGiNcontroL is good, but he's not as good as many other pro gamers. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Or at least that's my opinion. Alright guys, thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day. Enjoy playing Starcraft. Enjoy watching Starcraft. I'll see you next time. Cheers.